Today, we are going to hear a story from a hidden African folktale. Mbecu, the tortoise's story. Imagine wanting something desperately, something exclusive, a world of glittering success, a feast of opportunity far beyond your reach. What would you do to get there? How far would you push the boundaries? This is the story of Mbecu, a creature of humble beginnings, but with a mind sharp enough to dream of the impossible. Isn't he someone like some of us, or even most of us? The story begins like this. Long ago, when the world was still young, word spread of an event unlike any other. A grand feast in the sky, a celestial banquet for the birds. The aroma of warm roasted grains and sweet palm juice filled the air, mingling with the intoxicating sound of drums rolling down to the earth, even before the day. It was an invitation, carried on the wind, to a world of abundance and celebration. Below, Mbecu, the tortoise, caught the enticing scent and rhythmic beat. His eyes, usually slow and steady, gleamed with an uncharacteristic ambition. He stopped a passing swallow, his voice a low rumble.
"Tell me, swift one, where does such wonderful music and smell originate?"
The swallow, with a dismissive chuckle, replied,
"That's the great feast in the sky, Mbecu. For birds only. You, with your heavy shell, cannot fly."
And with a flick of its wings, it soared away, leaving Mbecu to stare at the distant clouds. But Mbecu's desire to attend only intensified. "I will go," he declared to himself, a spark of cunning in his ancient eyes. "In my heart, I am a bird too." He was slow, yes, but his mind, as we shall soon discover, was a marvel of ingenuity. He conceived an audacious idea. He approached the birds, his voice humble, almost pleading. "Friends," he began, "please, lend me just one feather each. I promise to return them after the feast." One by one, the birds, though they didn't actually believe he can attend, perhaps amused by his audacity or simply generous in their abundance, offered a single feather. Mbecu, with meticulous care, gathered them, crafting a magnificent pair of wings. Now, he could fly. When the day of the feast arrived, Mbecu, with his borrowed plumage, soared alongside the flock. They reached a resplendent palace in the clouds, adorned with golden mats laden with ripe plantains, steaming yams, and crimson kola nuts. The king of the sky welcomed them all to this exclusive gathering. Just being there, having flown up by himself, filled Mbecu with an intoxicating sense of overconfidence, almost as if he owned the very world. He became greedy, thinking he could, and indeed, should take it all. His hunger was immense, but his desire to share was not. A new, more self-serving trick began to form in his mind. He turned to the king, his voice dripping with feigned humility.
"Your Majesty,"
he began.
"in my family we have a peculiar custom. We bestow special names upon ourselves at the feast table. Today please address me as all of you."
The birds, unsuspecting, found it a harmless jest, and readily agreed. When the feast commenced, the king boomed,
"Let all of you eat first."
Mbecu, with a self-satisfied grin, stepped forward and devoured. Again the king commanded,
"Give more meat to all of you."
Mbecu continued, plate after plate, cup after cup, until his belly was distended. The other birds, meanwhile, received only meager crumbs, their hunger growing, their amusement turning to simmering resentment. As the feast concluded, the birds, famished and enraged, turned on Mbecu.
"You thought only of yourself, Mbecu,"
they cried.
"We demand our feathers back."
They swiftly plucked every feather, leaving him stranded.
"Now, find your own way home,"
they declared, and flew away, leaving him utterly alone, high above the world. Mbecu stood at the edge of the cloud, the palace doors now shut, gazing at the distant, unforgiving ground. the wind was a cold, sharp reminder of his predicament. He spotted a pigeon flying far below and desperately called out,
"Pigeon, tell my wife to cover our yard with something soft so I can land safely. Do this, and I will give you good food every day."
But the pigeon, having witnessed Mbecu's gluttony and deceit, had other plans. It flew to Mbecu's wife and, with a mischievous twinkle in its eye, relayed,
Mbecu says to cover the yard with big stones.
Unknowing of the truth, Mbecu's loyal wife, believing she was helping, diligently filled the yard with heavy, jagged rocks. Mbecu, imagining a soft landing, closed his eyes and leaped from the cloud. Crash! He struck the stones, and his shell shattered into countless pieces. His wife rushed out, weeping, and painstakingly gathered the fragments, gluing them back together. That, they say, is why tortoises today bear shells adorned with intricate lines and cracks. This isn't just a children's fable. This version of Mbecu's tale, raw and unvarnished, forces us to confront the uncomfortable side of ambition and the slippery slope of self-interest. Mbecu was undeniably clever, but his cleverness mutated into something ugly. We've all seen it, haven't we? That person who's so focused on their own gain, so blind to the needs of others, that their brilliance becomes their biggest flaw. That pain in the ass who always takes more than their share. The story concludes with a stark warning. It is good to be clever, but if you are greedy and only think of yourself, your fall will be much harder. Mbecu's shattered shell is a powerful metaphor. In a world where individual gain often overshadows collective well-being, what are the hard falls we witness today, born from similar acts of unchecked greed? Perhaps you've seen someone's ambition lead to their own undoing, just like Mbecu. We invite you to share your reflections in the comments below. Your insights enrich our collective understanding. Join the conversation, and if this story resonated with you, please like this video and subscribe to Studio Folktale for more narratives that challenge, inspire, and provoke deeper conversations. Until next time.